After Daredevil heads to court to defend his newest client, Spider-Man suddenly stands up claiming to be innocent. The judge then asks Matt how much he'd be willing to pay in bail if Spider-Man were arrested, and as soon as Matt answers $2 million and Peter thanks him, Mr. Dingus explains to the judge that it wasn't fair for Spider-Man to be in costume, since that way they'd never know if they were judging the right person. And at that very moment, another lawyer named Matthew Dolde also steps forward to support Mr. Dingus on the case, telling the judge he had requested a court order earlier that morning for Spider-Man to remove his mask, already leaving Peter extremely nervous. Mr. Jim then explains that the superhero registration required heroes to reveal their identities to the police in the event of a crime, and Matthew quickly reinforces that by saying that if Spider-Man hit his client's car, his client had every right to know who owned the car, leading Daredevil to admit they had a valid point and request a 24-hour recess to prepare his client's evidence. Spider-Man then goes into shock and asks Matt if he'd also have to show his face, to which Daredevil tells him to just hang tight. The next day, Matt and Spider-Man return to court, and once everyone settles in, Matt tells the judge that while Mr. Matthews' argument made sense, it was simultaneously impossible to know whether it was actually Spider-Man himself who was even in that car to begin with, revealing that he brought several people dressed as Spider-Man to court to prove his point, people who were actually just some friends he'd called in a favor from the day before. Daredevil then explains that unmasking his client was irrelevant, since even if they knew who was standing there now, they could never know who was actually in his car that day. And now that the judge is convinced, she ends up ruling in Matt's favor and saves Spider-Man from his charges, who quickly thanks Daredevil for the help, while mentioning he was surprised his clones even had web shooters, to which Daredevil reveals it was truly a miracle they showed up at all, especially after having been confiscated by the police.